Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the strange and often outrageous world of World War II tactics. We explore the top 10 weirdest strategies and events from World War II. Number 10. Operation Mincemeat. Operation Mincemeat was a successful British deception operation during World War II, designed to mislead the Nazis about the location of an Allied invasion of southern Europe. The plan involved planting fake military documents on the body of Glyndar Michael, a dead homeless man who had died of rat poison. His body was dressed as Royal Marine Officer Major William Martin and thrown into the sea off Spain. The documents indicated that the Allies would attack Greece and Sardinia, diverting German forces from Sicily, the original target of the invasion. Spanish authorities discovered the body, and the documents were passed on to German intelligence, who believed them to be genuine. This successful deception helped ensure the success of the Allied invasion of Sicily in 1943. Number 9. Project Habakkuk, ice aircraft carrier. During World War II, British inventor Geoffrey Pike proposed an unconventional idea to build a giant aircraft carrier made of pykrete, a mixture of wood pulp and ice. The concept arose out of the need for a floating airbase to protect convoys from U-boat attacks in the North Atlantic, where regular aircraft carriers were vulnerable. Pykrete was chosen because it was stronger and more resistant to melting than ordinary ice. A prototype was built at Lake Patricia in Canada, but the project was ultimately deemed unfeasible due to massive logistical challenges and the advent of long-range fighter jets, which negated the need for such a structure. Number 8. Bat Bomb, a weird but true World War II experience. The Bat Bomb project, officially known as Project X-Ray, was an unusual American military experiment during World War II that aimed to use bats as weapons. Conceived by dental surgeon Dr. Little Saddams, the project involved strapping small incendiary devices to Mexican free-tailed bats. The idea was to release thousands of these bats over Japanese cities, where they would seek refuge in buildings. When the bombs went off, the bats were expected to start massive fires, especially in Japan's wooded urban areas. Tests conducted in 1943 showed that the concept had potential, with several accidental fires starting during the trials. However, the plan was eventually shelved in favor of the atomic bomb, which the US military considered a more effective solution. Despite its abandonment, Project X-Ray remains one of the most unconventional weapons experiments of World War II. Number 7. The Ghost Army. The Ghost Army, officially known as the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops, was a US Army tactical deception unit used during World War II. The unit, consisting of about 1,100 soldiers, was tasked with misleading German forces about the strength and location of Allied forces. They used fake radio transmissions and loudspeaker sound effects, as well as inflatable tanks, airplanes and vehicles to simulate large armies. Their efforts were crucial during key operations such as the D-Day invasion and the Battle of the Bulge, which created confusion and diverted the enemy's attention from actual troop movements. His work was classified for more than 50 years after the war, highlighting the secrecy of his mission. Number 6. The Great Emu War of Australia. The Great Emu War was a 1932 military operation in Australia aimed at controlling the rapidly growing emu population in Western Australia. After World War I, Australian farmers faced an invasion of 20,000 emus that were damaging crops. In response, soldiers armed with machine guns were deployed to kill the birds. However, the emu proved surprisingly resilient, using its speed and erratic movements to avoid gunfire. Despite killing nearly 1,000 emus, the operation was widely considered a failure, and the birds largely escaped the army's efforts. The government eventually abandoned the mission, shifting to other control measures. Number 5. Project X-Ray Pigeon-guided missile. During World War II, the US military explored unconventional ideas for weapons, one of the strangest being Project X-Ray, also known as the Pigeon-guided missile project. American behaviorist B.F. developed by Skinner. The idea was to use pigeons to carry bombs to their targets. Pigeons were trained to peer at an image of a target on a screen, manipulating a guidance system to guide the bomb toward it. Placed inside the missile's nose, the pigeons would act as pilots. Although tests showed that pigeons could effectively launch the missile, the project was never fully deployed. It was eventually shelved as more advanced electronic guidance systems emerged, rendering the Pigeon-guided missile obsolete. Number 4. Exploding rats. The concept of exploding rats originated during World War II as part of a British plan to sabotage German industrial efforts. The British Intelligence Service, specifically the Special Operations Executives SOE, developed a scheme that involved stuffing dead rats with explosives, hoping to release them near German factories, particularly those in areas where they will be burned in boilers. The idea was that once the rats were discovered and thrown into the furnaces, the explosives would detonate, causing considerable damage and disruption. Although the plan was clever in theory, it ultimately never materialized in practice. The logistics of implementing such a strategy were complex, and there were concerns about the effectiveness and reliability of the method. As a result, the project was abandoned, but it is an interesting example of unconventional strategies devised during the war. Number 3. Operation Pastorius. Nazi saboteurs in America. Operation Pastorius was a Nazi sabotage project during World War II aimed at disrupting American industry and transportation systems. In 1942, Adolf Hitler allowed a group of German agents to be stationed in the United States. The mission involved 8 saboteurs who were trained in Germany and tasked with carrying out sabotage operations against key American locations, including factories, railroads, and bridges. The group landed on the beaches of Long Island, New York, and Florida, using small boats to get ashore. However, their plan quickly unraveled. One member of the group, George John Dish, turned himself in to the FBI and revealed the operation, which quickly led to the capture of the rest of the saboteurs. They were tried by a military court, and 6 of the 8 were sentenced to death and hanged, while 2 were imprisoned. The operation highlighted both the audacity of Nazi Germany's plans to invade American soil and the dangers America faced during the war. Number 2. The Soviet dog bombs. The Soviet dog bomb program, officially known as Operation Dogo, was an unconventional military tactic used by the Soviet Union during World War II. The move was intended to train dogs to carry explosives under German tanks, effectively turning them into live bombs. The dogs were conditioned to attach food to Soviet tanks, causing them to run under enemy troops' vehicles to set off explosives. However, the program faced significant challenges. Many dogs struggled to distinguish between friendly and enemy tanks on the battlefield, often falling back into their own lines rather than toward the Germans. This resulted in a series of unintended explosions on Soviet tanks, rendering the program largely ineffective and eventually abandoned. Although the concept was rooted in desperation for innovative tactics against well-equipped German forces, it highlighted the ethical dilemmas and operational difficulties associated with the use of animals in warfare. The last one, Japanese balloon bombs. During World War II, Japan launched a campaign using balloon bombs. Officially known as Fugo, these were hydrogen-filled balloons equipped with incendiary and anti-personnel devices, intended to be transported by jet stream from Japan to the United States. The balloons were designed to release their payload upon reaching American soil, causing havoc and panic. About 9,000 of these balloons were released between 1944 and 1945. With some reaching as far as Oregon, Michigan, and even New York, while the majority of balloons either failed to reach the United States or did not explode. 6 fatalities occurred in Oregon when one balloon accidentally exploded, tragically killing a woman and 5 children. The US military was initially unaware of the balloon attacks, causing confusion and concern. Although the campaign did not achieve its desired widespread effect, it marked a unique and unconventional aspect of the war, highlighting Japan's attempts to directly attack the American homeland. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed these strange facts about World War II. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more informative videos.